Hello, welcome to the first episode of Makoi'S World, living life in my perspective. Never know what I'm going to talk about or what I'm going to come up with. I'm going to keep it raw, not really going to do editing or, what most people do to try and, you know, uh, make their video in perfection. Um, no scripted, everything is just me talking, you know, um, different points today. I want to talk about Karate Kid Legends because me and my wife went to see it on Tuesday because at Cinemark everything's discounted and plus she has the app so she gets like free tickets every month. Um, First let me begin by talking about when I was 9 years old and the first Karate Kid came out back in 1985. Um, that's the first time I got hurt, with Daniel and Miss Miyagi and the whole lot, thinking Johnny was a bad guy later in life, or realize he's not after watching Cobra Kai. They give more of a backstory on how Kreese was and what Kreese went through and how he became the actual bad guy. If I remember right, there was a standing ovation during that end of the Karate Kid when Johnny got kicked with the crane kick. Everybody like stood up and cheered like it was an actual tournament. But yeah, that me and my sister, we went to see that with our grandmother. Um, then came out Karate Kid 2, which my mom had on VHS. Uh, we living in Bellflower at the time, and that's actually my favorite one because it's just felt like there's more sentiment to it, with him and Yukio. I mean, that's just my opinion. But then trickled down to Karate Kid 3, which when that movie came out, a lot of people didn't like it. It didn't get good reviews. But after Cobra Kai came out, it basically everybody's like, "Oh, Terry Silver, yeah, he's great villain." Da da da. And it's weird how people's perceptions change on things over the years. They see things differently when something new comes out. Um, Terry Silver was a great villain. He, was probably one of the more challenging villains for Daniel. Um, that's when Cobra Kai ended. Yeah, he basically was a great villain. Um, then the Karate Kid with Jalen came out, and it was like, I don't know how they can call kung fu and karate the same thing when they're two different techniques from two different countries. Uh, yeah, basically got their own character and their own methods and their own techniques and their own traditions. Kung fu has one tradition from China and karate has another tradition from Japan. So really, when that movie came out, they called it the Karate Kid, but he was doing kung fu. It was like, hmm, yeah, no, it's not the same. But now Karate Kid Legends comes out, and it's like they really fused the karate with the kung fu. The kung fu is still there, but yet, they had Daniel teach karate, which I hope that's not a spoiler for y'all. I'm not trying to spoil anything. All I'm saying it was a great movie. I mean, it should be obvious it was kung fu in it because Han was there, Jackie Chan, and then Daniel. You know, you saw the preview, so you know that Daniel was going to teach him karate. The way Miyagi taught him. But I'd say great movie. Go see it. Don't go see it. It's up to you. I'm not one to, tell people what to do or, recommend. It's either you do or you don't. But I would just say that I really enjoyed it. Okay, that's the end of this video. I hope to see you next Friday for the next one. Not sure, really sure I'm going to talking about. Maybe another movie that me and my wife saw on Netflix, which I'll let you know which one. I did start putting a lot more Filipino movies on there because my wife's Filipina. I think I said that in the intro, which I did like 3 weeks ago, and I'm barely doing the first video now. But yeah, I'll see you next Friday, hopefully. And remember, live life in your perspective. See things how you want to see it, not like from what other people want you to see it. Enjoy your weekend and see you next Friday. Bye for now.